Hello, Starshine. My name is Liz and this is my channel, Simsational Stories. If you have not seen my videos before and you enjoy this one, please like and subscribe. And maybe check out my Facebook page where this whole thing began as well. All relevant links are in the description below. And of course, if you're a Sims player and you'd like to download any of the characters featured in my stories, just search the hashtag Simsational Stories on the Sims 4 gallery. All original content is created by This Is Not Eric. Alrighty then. So, welcome, and what is up, Buttercup? Are you having a good day? Or a bad day? Whichever your answer, please allow me to distract you from your life and tell you a story, a Simsational story. Before I begin though, I'd like to issue this blanket content and trigger warning. The following story is just Sims, hey. I'm not going to apologise for treating them terribly, if that's what I've done, But I do want to assure you now that although I mean absolutely no harm, I completely understand if you feel unable to consume my content. Many loves, and we will catch each other on the internet elsewhere. Okay, so now we've gotten that over with, let's go. Today's story is from The Babysitter Builds a Life, and we're at chapter 7. If you have not seen previous chapters and would like to catch up, there are playlists available on my channel so you can hear the entire story in chronological order. The rest of us are going to move on from where we left off last time though. So without further ado. Ashley Henry and Ali Clements had been together for almost 6 years now, and as Ashley Henry's musical career took off and they planned their wedding, family time was getting harder and harder to find time for. Their children, Cleopatra and Christian, were growing up, and Ashley worried that he was going to miss out on the important moments while chasing success. But Ashley Henry couldn't deny his talent and passion either. After years of doing the hard yards on the local music scene, he had finally signed a record deal with Simsational Sounds, and his first single, The Way She Moves Me, had gone straight to number 1. He was in the studio 6 days a week and performing 3 nights a week, which was amazing. But it didn't leave much time for wedding plans. Ali and Thalia, Ashley's manager's personal assistant, had the wedding all planned out though. The church had been booked for the first Saturday in spring, Ali was making her own cake, and the dress was a promotional loan from a major design label. Thalia had even talked Ashley's manager, Cliff Maloney, into giving Ashley some time off so they could all go on a family holiday/honeymoon to the islands of Sulani. As winter ended that year, Ashley Henry poured his heart and soul into his first album. He had dozens of old songs that he had written before this, but only 3 of those made the final cut. The rest he wrote fresh, songs that told not just of his love for Ali and their children, but also Ashley's personal beliefs and philosophies. He even touched on politics with a witty little poppy number, Eco-Evolution, that was all about the environment. Even Ali was called back into the studio to re-record a few backup vocals and sign what she thought at the time was just a basic contract to have her voice used on Ashley's album. She didn't even bother to glance over it, just flipped to the sign here stickers and did the deed. She was in more of a hurry to get to singing than anything else, as she was far more confident this time. She and Ashley had been practicing at home, and she wanted to do better than last time. Ashley and Ali didn't even think that much of it when Thalia came in with fresh clothes for them to change into, and a camera. They needed promotional photos for the magazines, Cliff said, and a few snaps with Ali would help. Given that so many of Ashley's songs were about Ali, and that she'd contributed to the album, it made perfect sense that they needed a couple of pictures. What they didn't know at the time was that the contract Ali had signed was far more than just a basic backup vocal consent form. In fact, it was a 3-year contract that gave Simsational Sounds the rights to release a completely new and different album to the creative, soulful masterpiece which Ashley thought he'd been working on. one where he was more of a talented background player, and Ali was the main star of a typical pop debut. It had been manager/producer Cliff Maloney's idea originally. He'd thought of it the moment he saw the couple together, and he had been working in secret on the plan for months. In fact, it had been at his suggestion that Ali try singing backup vocals in the first place, and he had used recordings from that casual jam session to remix the majority of Ashley Henry's songs to have Ali's voice taking the lead to his backup vocals. Ashley and Ali had no idea of any of this, of course. It was Cliff's secret plan, and he didn't want them catching wind of any of it until it was all far too late. He didn't even let Thalia in on the secret, although he did have her do a lot of work to help organise it all. He also used her to get access to Ashley Henry's detailed honeymoon itinerary, so he could schedule the album release for the exact time that the couple was most likely to be distracted from the online world. Everything went according to plan. Ashley Henry and Ali Henry Clements were married at the start of spring to the sounds of their daughter Cleopatra's scratchy violin. Their son Christian was the ring bearer, and to their surprise, their wedding was covered by page 3 of the newspaper. Everybody was saying what a beautiful, heartfelt ceremony it was, and the vows they had made up themselves were touching. They had the reception in the church courtyard and ate a delicious gourmet cake that Ali had baked herself. The guest list was small and intimate, but that was the way they had wanted it. Enough of their lives were already taken up by other people, and they wanted to treasure this moment together as a family. After the reception was over, they left for Salani together as a family too. It was exactly what the doctor ordered. A luxury holiday in the tropical paradise was the sort of thing that years ago Ali wouldn't even have dared to dream of. She'd spent so long on Struggle Street that this felt surreal. It was all real though. Ashley Henry knew how Ali felt. He felt it himself sometimes, that all this success they'd suddenly met with was too good to be true. That was just their insecurities speaking though. And the truth was that they deserved this. They had worked hard for everything they had. Heck, they were still working hard. The family of 4 still lived together in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment in San Myshono that was, to put it lightly, in need of some tender loving care. They endured constant plumbing leaks, rodent infestations, and a lazy landlord. But it was all worth it in the end, because look where they were now. And that brings us to the end of Chapter 7 of The Babysitter Builds a Life. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can tune in soon to hear the next chapter. And hey, maybe think about sharing my channel with a friend. Or don't. It's your life. Anyway, bye.